What's going on, traders, and welcome to my stream. This video has been a great day overall trading. Actually, it's been one of the best days so far for a while. I'm just trying to see if I got my thumbnail there. I think they're just still uploading my thumbnail. So we'll see if the thumbnail's uploaded there. But so far, it's been pretty good. Traded, I think it was 10 tickers. And made pretty good bank on most of them. And it has been a bit difficult, but for a moment there, I thought I was just not gonna make any money. And then finally, things started clicking, and so my the strategy that I recommend for you guys that are have little money to your name is 6 to 1 and a gap up short, looking for stocks that gap up between 75% and like 200%. So this ticker gapped up 200%. So I ended up shorting it at like 950 and I covered at like 550. So I made $4.50 a share. And you can pretty much short this ticker with 6 to 1, and you can short like 1,000 shares and make like 4 grand on the downside. And I'm gonna talk all about it after this video and more of my trades and also for. All right, so this is kind of like my stuff over here. I made 28k GDTC. Hold on, I'm tweeting a bit. The next stock I made on Elox, and Elox was a stock that pretty much went up 100 and some percent. PWM, I made some short on that. DFLI, hold on, because I'm writing a tweet there. DFLI, that was a small gain. Then you had TAOP. So gonna discuss all my trades here and Mob. So each day I wake up around my favorite time to wake up is around 7 o'clock in the morning. I wake up each morning at 7 o'clock. Sometimes I should be up at like 6:30 because these tickers start moving at 7. And this ticker GDTC actually started moving at like actually moving if you can see my short on GDTC. I was originally long here at like 1,000 shares at like 11, and I started and I sold, so I lost like 50 cents a share. And then I started heavily shorting it at like 974, and I shorted 962. So at one point I think I had about 10,000 shares, and you can short that was a really big position to short that, and I made I don't know, that's a 30%. Is it 10,000 shares? I'll show you where everything is. But so we're going to talk about GDTC because that's the first one you want to look at. So GDTC, very simple, straight out of book, textbook breakout of 480. We went all the way to like 1066. And over here, we build a support line right about there where I was talking about this morning. Support line was around 950, and I was talking like what's going to happen if this support line was going to be taken out. We built a downtrend, and the support line got taken out, and soon enough, that's where the next support line is. So whoever woke up and bought GDTC on this downtrend break, you can see, so here, so GDTC was alerted in our live stream chat room because of this aftermarket movement. I don't even remember what the news was, honestly. I don't remember what the news is. Can you believe it? I don't know what the news is. So that's really funny. I don't know what the news is. Anyway, so we hit $10 the second time, and we had a support area around 950. And so that ended up being a double top at $10. So I, like I say in many of my videos, I like shorting things around round numbers, and $10 ended up being the short, and I had an average of like 952. We dump I covered half into the support line over here, and I pretty much let the rest ride. So my other cover ended up being at the end of the day was, I think it was 550. So shorting it over here in the 950 and covering into the 550 area. So that was $4 of profit, believe it or not. $4. I could have made a little bit more. I mean, if I held all my 10,000 shares and made $4 a share, that would have been a 40K win. And but I didn't hold it. I covered half 750, have covered half 550. So I had a 650 average out. So I made $3 a share. So that pretty much constitutes $3 a share, 10,000 shares. It's 30K right there. So this thing was marginable. Was available in multiple brokerages. And you can go 6 to 1 on it. And pretty much this is like my bread and butter. Normally, sometimes in a cold market, things gap up 100% and keep going another 100%, but that's very much very rare. And when they do gap up 200%, it's a lot, it's very rare you have stocks gapping up 200% and going up another 100%. It's already rare enough that there's a stock that gaps up 100% and runs another 100%. Like every single time I saw a stock gapping up 100% and running another 100%, it was very rare and I was getting squeezed out. So it's like 1 in a million chances of stocks gapping up 200% and going up much higher. And soon enough, I based my risk based on this $10 area, since this area was it ended up doing a double top. And if you were awake at 7, I think a lot of people in the chat room GDTC were awake, and they said they sold GDTC at like 7ish or whatever. Or they bought it at 7, so they sold it at 950, and it was a great trade overall. That was GDTC. A couple of other movers, like you can see that I traded a lot of tickers. GDTC, you can see my sells 970, 970, GDTC 960, 930, and then eventually GDTC I covered at the end of the day 560, and GDTC I covered at like there it is 785. So I ended up making 650. You can see so over here. So there was a lot of tickers I did trade this morning. We had CING. I think it was the first ticker I traded. No, it was the first ticker I traded was Mob. But you had CING here. CING, like many of my videos, I like waking up in the morning and trading these movers and taking advantage of the volatility since they release news. And soon enough, this CING came up, popped up. We had a downtrend break over here. We had a high today break, 140. Sadly, this ticker did not perform as well. 140 to 169, only about, I don't know, 15, 10, 20%. So I kind of try to get my base hits in these things, waking up at 7 o'clock and getting my base hits in these movers. CING was one of them. This was not my favorite one, but there was one of them I made money. So CING is probably the one that I lost. I don't know how. Let's presume. Let's go to the next one. ELOX, the 8600 there, 8600 ELOX. ELOX, really nice call. I think we called this one in the chat room. I think we were calling out that this is like a 2 milli float, and the stock pretty much popped up. It was gapping up over here a couple times, and soon enough, I was looking at this chart and I'm like, hey, this thing looks good. Next resistance is like 10ish. I don't think I know the news on it. The news was, the news is we're in a hot market. That's what the news is. That's what the news is in the hot market. And it has news. It got upgraded by whatever, and we're in a hot market. So normally they don't really run that well. But soon enough, I think my long was at like 560, and I sold it at like 850. So I ended up making a huge gain on this one. This was like not really alerted, kind of like another stock that I did trade, and I think I had it long and I forgot to sell it, and soon enough it performed well. I think I had it long and I put a stop on it, and I ended up being up like $2, $3 a share. So sometimes it happens. you get lucky. Let me see which one. Which one? Let me see. There we go. So you had ELOX, PWM. I like to discuss about PWM because I didn't really trade PWM that well. PWM is right here. PWM. We had our first red day, which was very difficult to short this ticker. Initially, like I don't trade very well all the tickers. Tell you the truth. Some this ticker an example. I mean, we're one green day, two green days, and we had our third green day. So first red day to short was around the 25 area. This stock was pretty much stubborn. I started short at like 25, and it went against me to 30. So I really dislike the fact that this stock went against me to 30. So I do have some discipline problems, and like but it worked out. I think I was using the profit, the 30K profit I had in my other stock, and I pretty much just wrote it 30 and I just let it sit there, so I was just pretty much comfortable with the position. But normally being down 20% is not really recommended. And soon enough, I knew when we were close to a red day in PWM, and soon enough, we kind of crashed down to 18 from like my 25 short over here, because I thought the stock is just gonna crash over here, and soon enough, we pushed again to 30, and then we crashed. So I mean, I had the right idea to short it. I just didn't execute it correctly, and I should have waited, because sometimes I will get squeezed out, and sometimes these things go up to 100. Very rarely, but they do. So it's very important to have a max loss, have a max stop if you're shorting front side. But I'm shorting the third green day, so I mean, you have really good odds to short the second green. When you short the second green day, those are good odds. When you short the third green day, those are like really, 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 really good odds. So I picked the right day of the week. Sadly, my execution was terrible, because I was shorting in like the 25, went against me 30, and finally we crashed to 18, where it did manage to cover PWM. Let's see if we can find my PWM trade. That was it, my PWM. My other trades was over here, just coming in and out, doing my base hits here and there. Like I have to say, in most of my, like your chunk of your money is gonna come from 1 or 2 or 5% of your trades. Everything that you do is probably going to be a base hit or trying to make a paycheck every single day and eat. And your profit for the year, like where every single day you come in, you make your $2 to $1,000, 200 to $1,000, and that's your 50K a year. But the chunk of the money that you're going to make is going to be coming from the 1 or 2% of your trades that you pretty much size up on, and you believe that you have an edge. So in this situation today, I believe I had an edge in GDTC, because I really thought I had an edge, and soon enough I fat fingered it with 10,000 shares, and I made really nice bank. And you can do 6 to 1, you can do 10 to 1, whatever it is. You don't really need to you don't need to have 100 grand in the account. I mean, if you have like 15, I think 100K, 10,000 shares, that's like 96,000. So like if you do 6 to 1, that would be like you need to have at least 15,000 in the account, and you can make more than you can short with $15,000 at 970 and cover it at 550, and you can end up the day with $30,000. You can make that much if you short it where I shorted it over here and you use margin, but you can also lose that $10,000. So that was like GDTC over there. And we had TAOP here. TAOP, very nice out of the blue. We just spiked up and we had a high of the day break. I was trying to buy it, 10,000 shares, 1,000 shares. I like to see volume at least. Very nice volume. I mean, we had a couple of pre-market movers, but the majority of my, you had ADIL here that we just had serious volume, 30 cents to 45. And I mean, if we had EDTX here, I mean, you have $4 to $12, ridiculously amount of opportunity. If you're not making money in this market, I don't know when you're gonna be making money in this market. You had DFLI 160 to 220. definitely a lot of up, and even Mob. I mean, Mob was not that great. Like, shorting it ran on the day 275 to 240. I mean, that is I mean, it's still Mob is the terrible performer, I would have to say. So, and you have CING there that pretty much ended up just doing some fake outs. You can see that's a fake out candle. So, you know, it was a little bit difficult, I would have to say, today, but I sized up on the ones that matter, like ELOX, PWM, and the rest were just a wrap. The rest were just 300, 500 there, 1,000 there. I mean, I just sized up on the one that mattered. Like you have ELOX here from 5 up to like 12. That was a huge gain there, and you have ADIL, which I could have, I actually should have had a gain on the ADIL because I technically bought it at like 36, sold at 42, made 15%, and I was buying this sticker as well, ADIL, at like 33 and selling it like, I don't know, I was thinking it was gonna do 42, and soon enough it did. So, I sized up on my shorts. I mean, even TAOP in the morning went from like 70 cents up to 110. So, there was plenty of opportunity in the pre-market, plenty of DFLI that was also in the pre-market, 160 to 220, and there was a lot of opportunity, a lot of base hits, a lot of home runs, and a lot of opportunity. If I had to say, if I mean, a lot of opportunity, and yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles. Yeah, if I had to do something different, right here, I think CING. Maybe I bought it here, I doubled down here, and then I sold it for a loss. That was the loss that I did. And if I had to do DFLI, I didn't sell it in time. I thought it was gonna go higher because that's the loss here. No, no, it was CING. Let me see CING. Where is CING? CING. Where's CING? There's CING. Yeah, there it is. I bought it 150. I added 160 and then sold it for like loss. Um, and then you had ADIL, which I was fat fingering it. So I had like three mistakes. ADIL, I was fat fingering when it was trying to break 36, and then I dumped it, and then I added here, and then I sold it. So I shouldn't really fat finger it into this fake out breakouts like it did here, because this was a fake out breakout right there. So I kind of was adding into that breakout right there. So yeah, that's probably my greatest concern. I mean, it's not this trade and not CING. It's probably PWM, shorting PWM too soon. I mean, I know it's the third red day, and I know I have really good chances of shorting the third red day because how many stocks have you seen 3 days in a row go up? Like you can count them on your finger throughout the whole year. But when that third, but it's really, it's really dangerous to let a stock go up against you the third green day because you just don't know. It could have just broken $32, and I could have just lost all my profits from my other ticker, and I would have been red on the day or lost everything, or I could have blown up my account. So shorting in like the 25s. I mean, it eventually dumped, but it's still I held it. I held it. And it ended up working for me at the end of the day because the momentum kind of dried up. There was just no. I mean, there's a limited amount of money that gets spammed into like seven different tickers. I mean, if you look at the today tops gainers, there were like seven different tickers. If I'm not, there were like eight different tickers over 30%. So there's only like limited amount of like money in which you can keep the stock. There you go. You can see so here that you have how many stocks over 30%? You have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. So there's only like a limited amount of money this PWM you can inject in it to keep going. So the money was already spread out to other stocks, which was 10 other stocks. So I didn't really think is going to get the juice to go up to like 40, 50, $70. I mean, if this was the only one running, I would have covered and be like, whatever. I would have covered, but this was not the only one running. There was like 10 other ones running, and I'm like, so I did let it go against me 20%. So I'm kind of embarrassed about that. And TAOP, really nice trade. I traded TAOP well. GDTC was my best trade. ADIL, I was kind of chasing and I was kind of getting faked out. Definitely a lot of opportunity, majority, and then there was long opportunity, there was short opportunity, and we're gonna finish it up the day, and start it up tomorrow. It was a fun day. It was a fun day, and I just want to get better with my executions, and get better with my executions, and not put myself in bad situations. Definitely not putting myself in bad situation and selling my winners. Not and not chasing fake out breakouts, because there were a couple of fake out breakouts that I didn't like. Like that was a fake out breakout, CING, and this was a fake out breakout right here in ADIL. Right here. That's the one I got caught there. So don't chase, and don't let the stocks go against you, and you should be fine. But that's about it. You guys have a good one. That was it. We're starting it fresh tomorrow. It was a fun time chatting with you guys. I'm sure I'm gonna be live streaming, talking about at 7 about all my adventures here. And I will be streaming each morning for my subscribers, as well as sometimes I do put a public stream. And I know when I see one or two persons on my stream that I should buy a crap load of stocks. That's how the majority, that this is how it starts. First, you have astronomical stocks that move, like 7 to 10 to 12 stocks that move over 100%, and the stock market lures you in with opportunities. And then you have 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, see my video, my before video of me talking about the cycles of the I have this right here, the penny stock week video. Make sure you see that video, because that really explains you like where you are, because we're in a buy cycle of the overall market. And it's gonna last, and I really can tell when it's time to push the pedal to the metal, because you can make a lot of money in the first and second week when everything goes crazy as a bull, and even the third week sometimes. And then you have to just put the speed in like gear one, slow down a bit, and like try not to blow up, because market changes, and now we're in a bull market cycle for next 2 to 3 weeks. And I mean, if you look at the top gainers, we are pretty freaking good. Look at that. You have like at least one, two, three, four, at least 10 stocks over 30%. So that's about it. You guys have a good one. It's been a fun time trading with you guys, and don't let trade, bet more when you're winning, especially at the beginning of the bull market cycle. And understand that PWM pretty much started this whole move. Before it was very quiet, and suddenly on Thursday PWN started just spiking because everybody was watching. Soon enough, PWN went from $60 to $30, and this is how the momentum spilled over in other low float stocks. And we have these crazy ass movers like, I mean, GDTC. That's a crazy ass mover. That's from 5 to 11. That's like from 3 to 11. That's a huge move. ELOX. That's a huge move. 4 to 12. I mean, how many times a year do you see that? ADIL, that's a huge move. 20 cents to 45 cents. That's 100% intraday. And TAOP, 60 cents to 120. Range, guys, range. You need range. And DFLI, I mean, not that much range. 160 to 210. Not everything. Mob did a really nice move there. I think it was yesterday that we did a move, and that most of that move was pre-market, from like, I don't know, $2 up to like 340. And CING, even that one, 1 to 170. That's a lot of range for me to make money. You need range to make money. And when you get range, you get your scanners out, you get your low float scanners out, you show up at 7, you put everything on the screen, you watch the downtrend break, the high of the day break, everything that moved yesterday, try to make a plan, and you attack. And I attacked GDTC, and I was well compensated for my attack. and I attacked Elox and I attacked PWM. I attacked 3 tickers very hard, and it worked out for me. Other than that, you guys have a good one. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe for more, and see you in the next one.